So how to create a marketing plan for a small business. Now, there's a lot of different opinions on how to do this. I'm going to walk you through a couple of examples. So there's two parts to the marketing plan. So first you have to get attention. So the old marketing adage is AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. So you have to go where the people are, and then you have to get their attention. You have to find out who's interested. And then you have to find out if there's enough desire and then get them to take some sort of action. So I'm going to share my screen now. Bear with me. I'm switching between recordings. So this is one template. The year this is done is 2021. This is an example where you can see there's calendar dates and we've got these columns, right? So the marketing plan would be ideally, how many days a week do you want to make sales? So the concept is, I remember someone told me if you put full-time hours into finding work, you'll find a job in no time. Well, it's the same thing. If you put full-time hours into finding a buyer for what you do, you should be able to find one. The issue is there enough profit in what you're doing and all sorts of things like that. But this is an example of a marketing plan where here you can see we've got email promotions. Here's either a podcast episode or a joint venture partner mail out. Maybe you're doing press releases, you're doing Facebook Lives, you're doing in-person events, you're doing paid ads or social media promos. These are all examples. You can figure out what you want to do. But this is where it all comes together. So this I call the perfect lead management system. And here you have attract traffic. And so in this attract traffic column is where you would kind of list all those things that you're doing, right? So if we go back to my example here where I had the content calendar, these are all things that you're doing to attract traffic. They're things you're doing to get people's attention. And then ideally what you're going to do is you're just going to have a hand raiser. What do I mean by a hand raiser? I mean you're doing something that gets them to say, yes, I'm interested. It's not even necessarily the full out offer, right? In some ways, it's like sending penis pictures. If you're like, hey, want to buy? Like, whoa, I don't even know anything about what you're about. Like, it's like asking for marriage right away. You want to crawl, walk, run. So first thing is just get their attention. Case studies are a great way of doing this. Sharing content is. That's part of why I'm doing this video. So you need to attract traffic first. Once you've attracted your traffic, then you have to do something. You have to ideally collect their contact info somehow so you can follow up or put them in a spreadsheet or put them in your customer relationship management software so you don't forget about them. And then you have to follow up somehow, right? We often say when you do business, you should consider the rule of 10,000. And so that is, how would you get 10,000 people? How would you organize 10,000 leads? How would you segment and follow up with 10,000? How would you follow up with 10,000 people? How would you deliver your product to 10 if you got 10,000 orders? So, but generally speaking, in the marketing plan, you track traffic, you collect their contact info, you follow up, you make some sort of initial offer. There's a free trial, it's a low dollar trial, it's a 30-day whatever. It's that initial first step. You want to show them the whole chain, but then just talk about the first step, right? Even if it's a 1-year service. Hey, this thing is for 1 year, it's going to do X, Y, C, A, B, C, but hey, do you just want to sit down and map out what it would look like first? Don't worry about the big commitment. Deliver and wow, and then you would have more to offer them. And the reason this column is super important is that often what you do, all this work you do to make the first sale, it is so labor intensive and expensive. If you just have more things to offer, it's so much easier to make that extra money, and you already have their contact info. And then you want to ask for referrals. So this is an example of one of the things that I do with clients, a tool that I use to help plan their marketing strategies. We've got, the front end, we call it the front end stuff, which is what you saw, the spreadsheet, right? We've got all these different things you can do, paid ads, social media, just content, publishing a podcast, publishing a blog, a newsletter, there's 101 things, strategic alliances, in-person events, sponsorships, like all these things you can do. It depends on your business and your offer and who your customers are and where they're at. So you have to figure out where the people are, then you have to go to the people, find a way to get in front of the people to get their attention, get their interests, and then hopefully find a way to stay in touch so you can develop the desire and know how serious they are and then get some sort of action. So hopefully this is helpful. That's how you would make a marketing plan. And it applies to a small business, it applies to an online business, offline business. The process is the same. If you'd like some help, you can go to my website, bestbusinesscoach.ca. We have services and courses that you can do on your own schedule available, or services, or answers to more questions like this. Just go to bestbusinesscoach.ca.